Good morning. Happy Thursday. Hope you guys are having a great morning. We are just getting out of some medium impact news. Had some halfway decent price action this morning. I've taken 3 trades, 1, 2, lost 1. Back trading at the major support level, which is also the prior low. It's been happening the last couple of days. It doesn't normally end up being that way, but since I don't trade at that level no matter what, it doesn't even really matter that it's hiding behind it. Alright, I can remove the old zone. Trend bias just changed to an uptrend, back to an uptrend. Alright, I don't know where that random lag came from, but okay. Just really wanted to get away from the support level. I can't really do much while it's there. Because although it can be a good level to trade off of if you're like on a time-based chart, on Rinkos everything is so like, I don't know, microscopic. We're so zoomed in that it just does a bit much here. Like every time we've hit it today, we've kind of consolidated around it, which always happens, and that's why I just stay away. Good morning, Rio. How are you? Oh, I'm like, why is my color off? I forgot my LED lights. I forgot to turn on. Here we go. There we go. There we go. I did do quite a bit of studying yesterday after I got off the stream. Like I said I would. It took me until, see, I got off at 11. I was probably done journaling by like 11:30, 11:45, and I think I got done with like all the studying stuff that I wanted to do by like 3:45 or so. So it took me quite a long time. There's still only like one setup that I'm still not sure exactly how I want to trade it. And I sat out of the trade when it set up this morning, and it ended up winning. So I'm still just like, I don't know. Because since I have so many different setups, even going through like 7 weeks of data, before today, there was like 6 wins, 3 losses, and maybe a break even in there or something. So I decided to make it a little bit more strict to where it gets rid of the 3 wins and the 3 losses, because what's the point of sitting through that? But then I have a trade like today where it would have won. But like I told you guys, the biggest thing for me is I care more about how it performs in lower volatility days, not high volatility days like today. So I'll probably just keep it strict like I have it right now, and just kind of go from there. Oh, I didn't get filled on one of my accounts. All right, there we go. I got filled on the followers before I got filled on the leaders. All right, so oh, and I did find out, so I don't know if you guys remember how yesterday I was like, man, I missed a couple of trades because I need to just be able to click where I want to enter the freaking trades, like if I miss the close bar entry. So come to find out, my chart trader that I used for the close bar entry, I had the option to put a buy click, sell click in there. Didn't know. Because I've had this indicator for like a year and a half probably. I think I bought it in like October of 2022. That's when I first was like, all right, I want to develop something like this. But again, I wasn't really focused on it, so it was just like whatever. So I do remember looking at the different options in the manual, but I never really paid attention to it because I knew I was only using this for a close bar entry. I didn't think about the fact that I might need a click if I missed the close bar. So I had the button there all along. Why is my chart frozen? What was that? I don't like that. But anyway, so yeah, I have a buy click, sell click. Now, I might have to ask him because it does kind of seem like it lags just a tiny bit. And with the power of my computer, I shouldn't have a lag. But I'm also wondering if it has to do with me being on an older version of NinjaTrader. I'm not quite sure. So I don't know. I'll ask him about it, but I'm not too worried about it. I was playing around with it on Sim yesterday just to make sure it works the way that I need it to work, and it does. That's all that really matters. But yeah, so if I miss an entry now, I'm good to go. Good to go. So I'm glad I had it because I was like, if I bought the enhanced version, which is way more expensive than the basic version, I would think that I would get some of the basic stuff. But the options, like all the options that you have for the customized chart trader, once you get past a certain point, like towards the bottom, there's a lot of options there that are not included because it's another enhanced version, if it makes sense. So like he has a version where you can enter off of order flow, like iceberg orders, all kinds of stuff. And so I never really paid attention to, there's like a one-click option and like a click entry option or something like that. So I chose the click entry option because the one-click option seems to be more like what Nutty Bar uses, where like if he hovers over a sell button inside of the chart trader, you can see on his chart like that it puts on the screen like where the entry would be, what the risk to reward would be, and all of that. I don't need that. I just need to be able to click that I'm ready to enter. 131, 203. So yeah, so it's nice to know that I have that option. I'll have to break even when it gets up to that buy rotation level, which it just did. Because sometimes we can't push through it. Oh, we did this time. But most of the time we do not push through it. Another feature that I do like is that so on my screen I don't see the like entry and target. I can if I want, but he also has this thing in there where like I just see arrows and I can hover over it to not only see like how much I made, but I can also see how long I was in the trade for, which I think is pretty cool. So like that trade right there was 12 seconds. No sale here. We just bounced off of my major level at 636.50. So no sale going back towards it. We do have natural gas at 9:30, as you can see up there. Slow impact, so I don't have to sit out of it too long, and I can trade up to 1 minute before, which is what I'll do. I did take my first trade at 8:32 this morning. So that kind of let me know that the market was moving enough for me to probably get quite a few trades in today. So let's just see if we kind of continue with the volatility or if we pretty much slow down after 10 o'clock. I forgot I got my tea now. I haven't made my tea in the last couple mornings because I've been getting out of bed kind of late. All right, we just had a rejection off of the yesterday's close. I am gonna have to go over my cheat sheet a couple of times today, like after I'm done trading, because I did make some, I wouldn't say like really big adjustments, but certain like rules, like how I want to trade if it's a regular pullback and it rotates over the VWAP, like just different things like that that are now important. I did, however, redefine my divergence trades just a little bit, because I did notice that some of the data that I was working off of was data from like Fridays, which I went back to. Since this past Friday, I decided to go back to not trading counter trend divergence on Fridays. So I had data in there that I couldn't really use anymore because if I'm not trading on Fridays, I don't want to use Friday's data. So that was kind of like the biggest change that I made yesterday was changes to some of the divergence requirements. So we'll see what that yields long term. We'll just see. Because like I said, even with the trade that I sat out of earlier, because now I can't trade it that way, technically it's still kind of break even, where it's 4 wins, 3 losses, and a break even for that specific setup. And for me, it's like, it's just not worth it. So we'll see what I do long term though. See, 671. I'm gonna break even for now. We'll see what. Oh yeah, I definitely needed to break even. I didn't see at first, but I don't know if you guys can see. The zigzag is not attached to that bar. I initially was just breaking even because we did change the zigzag to an uptrend or buyer pressure, which I don't really like to happen on this particular change of structure, just because I am in an uptrend bias. So I don't really want for my regular pullback to have a change of zigzag like that. But no matter what, I needed to break even because the zigzag was not attached. Now, I have been seeing quite a bit this week specifically where the zigzag is still attached to the previous bar, but the trade still works out. So for now, what I'll probably do is just go ahead and still write those down like in my miss/didn't take section, and I'll probably do that for like a week and some change, and then kind of see overall like if it meets all my other criteria but the zigzags is attached to the previous bar, whether I still want to trade it or not. I think it happens probably often enough for me to get enough data after a week, but we'll see. But I'll just start to track it today. It's no big deal. No big deal. Because the only reason why it does that is because the high of the reversal bar and the previous bar are the exact same price. And that just happens just because I'm on a 1 tick threshold for the Rinkos. So good morning, Husk. You got your loss back? It's good so far? Good, good. I still have you tapped open. The market's just moving so fast right now. I can't look at anybody's stream. Usually when the market's not really moving, I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just look at other people. Because maybe you guys are getting setups and I'm not, but not this morning. Got some double top, double bottom combos here. It's a triple combo. Definitely might continue to push down if we can't get back above the rotation level and create some structure there. But it looks like we are trying to. Alright, so I got about 6 more minutes of trading before I need to sit out for natural gas, and then we'll restart a minute after. Let's see, 56.25. That would have been a tricky buy, but I would have taken it because it would have rotated over the rotation level, but you can see we've pushed below it now. So, see what happens from here. No buy though, because my minor level changed twice. So it was a downtrend here, switch to an uptrend right there, switch back to a downtrend right here. So we got a color change twice in 2 swings. So I'm not gonna trade. Not gonna trade the buy. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Okay, it does go to 1080. I needed to look to see what the quality of my stream was, because I think one day I had went to look and it was still on 720 and I didn't understand, but I forgot that YouTube takes a very long time to process live streams, especially since I stream for 2 hours. So I guess after they process it, then it goes up to 1080, which is fine. Probably starting next week, depending on how the rest of, well, today and tomorrow goes. I think I do want to start like recording my actual sessions so that I can take it and make it into content, like short form content. But we'll see. There's going to be a pin bar. I don't think we can push through, but I hope we can. We cannot. All right. I don't really like trading below the change zone much. Like, that's the change of the minor level. But so far, I've been able to. So that's why I just went ahead and I chanced it. However, yeah. So, I don't know. I might just get rid of it. We'll just see. Because I do record that, like, if it happens inside what I call the trail and stop. So yeah, we'll just see, because what I don't want is things like this where I get stopped out and then boom, it literally does exactly what the hell I wanted it to do the first time. Which is trash, but you know, what ifs. What ifs, what ifs. Hi, babies. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're brushing your teeth? Oh, I see. Let me see your teeth. Say cheese. Cheese. You brush my teeth. Thank you. You got to go to school. You can't stay at Granny house. Because you got to learn something, girl. Yeah. You look very cute this morning. You don't look like them. You look cute. You're welcome, baby. Hey, Twain. What's up? All right, so it's now 9:29, so I'll sit out for news. Like I said, I think the only thing for today that I want to look at is the trades like the one that I just missed because, I just lost. I don't really think it's much of a big deal. The only problem is I don't take continuations. Like here, it was literally the exact same setup, but because the zigzag detached from here and attached here, I don't really take those much. Maybe I need to start, but I'll just leave it there for now. Because we literally, did we touch it? No, we didn't even touch up there. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Good morning, Bill. How are you? Good morning, Clarity. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, that was my 2-year-old. He'll be 3 next month. And my almost 5-year-old niece. It's the two that I was watching for like a couple of times a week for like 4 or 5 months. So they're at their granny's house. And my niece is like, we have to go to school. She did not seem happy. I guess my cousin takes them over to my aunt, which is their grandma, takes them over to their grandma's house on Thursday mornings since he has like a later start day. And my nephew took his shoes and threw them in my aunt's closet like, I'm not going to school. So, and they did the same thing last week. They did not want to leave her house. I'm like, no, you take them to their granny house, they ain't gonna want to go nowhere. You know that. All right, so this reversal up is swing 1. Now we have swing 2, so now I can start trading again. We do have a speaker speaking at 10 o'clock. Oh, and you're speaking at 4:45. Why are you speaking twice in a day? The shift is over. What kind of charts are those? This is a Renko chart. Renko, this is the Ninja Renkos, so it has the wicks, of course, and the setting that I use is a 16-1. So the brick size from open to close is 16 ticks, and the threshold is 1 tick. Meaning once a reversal bar happens, every tick in that direction paints a new bar, like when it closes. I think that a 1 tick threshold is the best way to see like the actual size of the swings. But I do know a lot of people who don't use a 1 tick threshold and it works just fine for them. So we kind of got a little consolidation here. Not only are we near the middle VWAP level, but we got the current open there, the prior close, buy rotation level. So it's kind of inevitable that we would have a little bit of consolidation. That's what the zone looks like. I was saying yesterday that I was looking into like breakouts of the consolidation zone because they look so different. On Rinkos. So when you get a breakout, it's almost always a true breakout, especially like since we have an uptrend bias right now. If it breaks out on the top, it's probably gonna like for real breakout. So besides that, and the other way that I was talking about possibly swing trading using my same setup, that's something else that I do want to look into in the future once I have all of my scalping rules right with my setup. So we'll see. Like I told you guys, my biggest thing is I just hope that by the end of this week, by the end of tomorrow, that I can get the 2 accounts that I started on Monday back to break even as far as like balance goes. That's what I'm most focused on. If we end up with a little bit of profit, that'll be nice too, but at least just getting back to the initial balances. See, like that. I could have just put a entry right there and just took the buy. Come on, don't do me like that. Ay, ay, ay. It's always annoying when I do so well before I get on the stream and I don't change nothing. I literally don't change anything. It's just the time. I really prefer the first like 30 minutes of the session for real, if I'm being honest. Let me see something. Yeah, there was really nothing I could do about that one. We just had a huge volume spike out of nowhere. I was kind of hoping that we can get the divergence continuation, but nope, we could not. Counter trend plays are trying to play me. So we just erased like $200 of profit, which freaking sucks, but definitely don't want to see the reversal at the middle pivot level. I don't trade at the middle pivot level, so we could get some consolidation around the 703.50 area. I do want to look at maybe that's the other thing I'll look. Alright, so it looks like it's gonna be two things I'm gonna look at. Specifically, let me see. So with the sale that I just lost right there, right? I kind of had a hunch yesterday on looking at a specific volume pattern for that, but I didn't end up writing that down. So I am gonna look at that. Like I said, it's all just like real small stuff. Volume pattern. It's all really small things that just don't happen that often. Did that touch? It did not. All right. Wasn't the pattern I was looking for that divergence. Good morning, Applejacks. You hate this market today? I've been loving it. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I just lost $200 of my profit, I actually been liking the market this morning. There's just literally two things I want to look at that caused the two of the three losses that I had today. One of the losses I'm not worried about. That was like my second trade, but those two that I just lost back to back, they're a little iffy. A little iffy. Can't take the buy here because we would be closing right on the same level that changed my minor trend from an uptrend to a downtrend. And I don't like taking trades where my entry is like right on a level. Everything else looked great, but that part. Right, made some of it back. That's a new volume pattern that I kind of made a little bit more concise yesterday. So we were able to get it to where the entry wasn't right on that yellow line, which is what I was looking for. My major level's at 685.25, so that's why we're kind of like bouncing down here. So it's trying to see if it's going to continue the uptrend. But yeah, those two little things from those two losses, absolutely. And it's so crazy. It's like I said, that divergence play with the double top and the zigzag being the same color. I promise you guys, that is something that I was looking at yesterday and I was like, let's not worry about it. Then you have days like today where you like, girl, you should have just worried about it. Why didn't you just worry about it? I'm confuzzled. We do this. When you like it, I hate it. And when I like it, you hate it. I swear. That just lets me know that our strategies are so drastically different. Because that's typically how it is. Your body's reminding you that you're a woman today. Oh, understood. You hate everything today. You hate everything today. And this is why I don't trade at the pivot level right here. Now, it could be something where now, because my rules are so much more defined, that I could possibly start trading at it. We'll see. Because I can trade at the middle VWAP level. So I don't know why I wouldn't be able to trade here. I mean, that particular buy wasn't the setup anyway. So it's not like I would have taken it and lost, because I wouldn't have taken it at all. Now, one thing I do know is I don't want to take trades going back towards it, kind of like I do with the VWAP, which at some point I am going to figure out how to trade that way, because I miss a lot of trades because it's trading going back towards the VWAP. If I can figure that out, honey, we'll be in business. Because when I was on a 20 tick chart, I absolutely could trade going back to the VWAP. But the 16 tick chart, I just cannot figure it out. But at some point, I will, because we gonna figure this out. Just not quite sure exactly how yet, but we gonna figure it out. Let's see what this does. Because the only pattern I could possibly think of is like the volume of this reversal bar needs to be less than the volume of the previous one that hit the VWAP. So in this case, in this uptrend, this buy, that was what happened. There was 191 in this candle and 405 in this candle. Because what makes sense to me is, and see, it wouldn't have worked out. But, and that also could be because I'm at the pivot level, so I won't count that one. But what makes sense to me is if we're pushing off of the VWAP, we shouldn't need more volume in the entry candle to push back towards it, because if it's a true reversal, it shouldn't take more to push going back towards that level. Like, it'll basically show that it's a weaker level if there's less volume to push back towards it. So I don't know, that's something that I have been thinking about, and I am going to continue looking at, because like I said, I have to sit out of a lot, and I mean a lot, of trades because of the trade going back to the VWAP, and eventually it's gonna get on my nerves, especially if I can see a consistent pattern of it winning. Then I definitely need to figure something out for sure. For sure. So we'll see. And I'll probably only do it like with my regular pullbacks and possibly divergence, but I don't know about the divergence one. I know the regular pullbacks, I am kind of seeing a consistent pattern, but because it's not something that I'm fully worried about, I just haven't been paying all the attention that I need to. But I'll probably do like I was saying earlier with something else, I'm gonna just make sure that I write it down every day so that I can like track it and just kind of go from there. All right, I was looking for the rotation down off of my major level, but if it pushes down in this bar, it'll close on the level, so I can't take it. But the volume right now looks pretty good for it. Matter of fact, now we pushed too far. Let me look at, so we can do this right now. That double top sell that I lost. I can look at that right now. Actually, see all the examples that I have here. My Excel sheet. Then I can go through. Alright, that one doesn't count. More or less. That one doesn't count. That one doesn't count. Alright, I'm pretty sure I know what the pattern is, and the pattern is not what I traded, which is what I had a thought process of yesterday. So I'll go through my other notebook and kind of finish out the process, but pretty sure that could be mitigated in the future, and it's a pattern that makes sense, which, as long as it makes sense, is very easy for me to remember. So just like that, I want chocolate. I'm like so opposite of most women. Like, when it's that time, I don't even have an appetite. Like, what I used to do years ago, I don't do this anymore, was I would just water fast for those 5 days, because I typically didn't even have an appetite at all, and I don't have cravings or anything. So yeah, I would just water fast. I wouldn't do it like every single month, but like most months though. If it gets to 7:30, Applejacks, don't tell me you got out of a trade or you sat out of it. Don't tell me that. Don't do it. Don't do it. I wonder if I could take divergences at the middle pivot. All right, we got news coming in 7 minutes. I was about to say 3 minutes. Girl, what? I feel like I can take... Nope. Maybe if it wicks off of the middle pivot level. Probably not. We don't trade at the middle pivot level enough for me to care. Like, some stuff is like, bro, it's not gonna happen often. If you miss a trade, whatever. I just want to focus on the ones that set up a lot. $347. Just like that, we pushed up off of my major level again. That's crazy. You need food. Got out at a good time, but you're curious if that should have been your target. What was your initial target? I mean, not your initial target. Where did you get out at? probably did get out at a good time. The biggest thing is we're trying to get past this VWAP, and we rejected 3 times basically. Now if we can get past that and the rotation level up there this time, it probably will go to 730, because there's nothing really above it besides 730 is the overnight low. So yeah, we can get past that VWAP, and that's the first upper deviation level, the yellow line. I've been eating dairy the last couple of days, and I always feel like I have to clear my throat. And that always happens because I don't really consume dairy like that, but my mom made some fire lasagna, so guess what she's been doing? Eating it. Yep. Alright, we got 5 minutes to the speaker. I can trade up until 9:59. Excuse me. We are definitely pushing. $697.50. Uh-oh, Apple Jacks. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And there's your 730 touch. There it went. There it go. Say, yeah, 697.50 actually was a pretty good level to get out of it. I told you to close your eyes. You weren't supposed to see it go there. I mean, we've just been on a tear up. I'm just so curious to see how this these two little things that I want to look at, how they end up working out. Because that one divergence is probably the only divergence that I have on my, like, as my setups, where I don't have it like defined at all really. So yeah, I'm curious to see once I go through all the data. I'm pretty sure there's going to be 2 specific volume patterns that will define it where I can trade it, and the one I just traded ain't it. The volume pattern I just traded for that sale, I can only trade that pattern like if it's that particular divergence where the zigzag is the same color of the direction I'm going, and we're trading off of like the new session high or low. I can do it that way. But when it's just out there randomly in the middle of the chart, I don't think that pattern works. I don't think it works, but we'll look through the data and we'll see. I mean, we literally pushed off the bottom of that overnight range and just, that's a 100 tick move right there. Actually more, because it's 100 ticks from the close of that bar, I think. 107 ticks. Yeah, so it doesn't take into account the first 32 ticks that it has to go. Yeah, that was a pretty big move. Good morning, Reynard. Reynard, is the H silent? I don't know. But good morning, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, technically that didn't change yet, so we'll keep that there. Anytime you guys see me move the yellow line, that means that my minor trend changed from an uptrend to a downtrend or vice versa. And so I just like to put the yellow line at that level so I can see if we're trading below it or above it or whatever, or if we're rotating over it. What kind of chart is this? That is the #1 question. This is a Renko chart. It is the only chart that I use. I don't use any other type of chart. No tick based, volume based, nothing. I use the Ninja Renkos, which are free, and it's my favorite version of Renkos, and the setting that I use is a 16-1. So the brick size is 16 ticks, and the threshold is 1 tick, meaning once a reversal happens, every tick that moves in that direction closes a new bar. Reinhardt. Okay. Am I talking about volume delta divergences? So not delta. Technically, I don't really look at delta, but basically the strategy that I am creating, because I'm still in the process of creating it, so if you see red days, it's okay. It does not bother me. But yeah, I have been creating like more of a volume based strategy, which I have not found anywhere as far as like linking volume with Renkos. So, and actually this is the first time that I've even traded volume in all of my years of trading, is when I started to create this particular strategy. So I've been putting it together since right before New Year's, right after Christmas, like between Christmas and New Year's. But I've played around with different Renko settings since then. So I started using this particular Renko settings March 11th, I think that was the first week that I started with this setting. And because I did not do a full-blown back test like I should have, because I was tired of back testing, I just said, all right, if it takes a month or 2 months to like define all the rules the way that I want it to be, just based off of, you know, data from trading every day, I'm okay with taking the time to do that, because I'm tired of back testing, and here we are. But yeah, my bricks. I gotta hide in the bathroom more often. This is great. Applejack's, what is wrong with you? You are a mess, honey. A hot mess. I am weak. But yeah, so I do I trade different types of divergence. Like, of course, you got complete counter trend divergence, where like right now my trend bias is an uptrend. So, you know, if I'm taking sales, then it's complete counter trend. But then I have other divergence where like, all right, my bias my bias is an uptrend, and we're taking a buy divergence like somewhere down here. So the volume kind of looks different because volume that you need on a counter trend divergence is totally different than volume that you need in with the trend type of divergence. So it's been a crazy ride putting this together, but I'm literally at the tail end of it. Literally. It's just like day by day I take a couple of things that I want to like define a little bit more, go through the data that I have. The biggest thing was I just needed more data since I refused to backtest. But we're here. Some of the levels that you'll see on the charts, I have an order flow VWAP. That's all the little curved different color lines, and I just have them different colors because if I need to see the price of it, I don't want to have to figure out which line is which in the data box. So me having them different colors, it just makes it easier to quickly figure out which one it is. I also have the current day open high low, the prior day open high low close, the Ninja Fame Super Pivot, which are always the dotted lines. So like that's the middle pivot level, the yellow one. And I believe that's it. Oh, and then I use a market structure indicator as well. And that's pretty much it. So mostly everything on my chart is literally just different support and resistance levels. Because some of them I avoid, some of them I want to make sure, like if I'm trading going back towards that level, that volume looks a certain way. And then other than that, I use like 2 versions of a half trend to tell me minor and major direction. I don't have that on the chart over here because I don't want too many charts with heavy indicators just because it will, you know, slow down the executions and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I clown because I like to make myself laugh. Laughter is good for the soul. Oh yeah, just so you guys know, I don't know if y'all paid attention to this because I don't know who's been buying accounts and stuff, but I don't know if it's been resolved yet. I probably should go look. But I do know that at some point they had issues with the 80% code for TradeAvate accounts. Let me see if they fixed it. Oh, never mind. It's been fixed. Now they just have a bunch of delays. And also, if you got payouts previously and you go into the dashboard and now it says denied, they know that it's a glitch. They're working on it. You don't have to send a ticket. Basically, if you got a payout from an account that you have since blown, now in your payout page it's gonna say denied on all of the ones that are now blown. So don't worry about it. They'll fix it at some point. They're working on it now. Alright, I really just want to see if we're going to clear the level going down and change to the downtrend bias. And I also wanted to get away from the middle pivot level since I don't trade there. But I am going to start writing down all the trades for the day that do trade at the middle pivot level so that I can see if with the more defined rules I'm able to trade there now. We'll see. It's not a huge deal if I can't. Alright, and this bar closed on it, so I can't take the sale going back towards it. Alright, so we push through. Tempted to change to a downtrend, but was not successful. Ooh. Oh geez, gotta look at something. And watch, it's not even gonna go down anymore. We're rejecting off the VWAP again. Alright, when was my last trade? Oh wait, we are after 10 o'clock. Last trade was at 9:42. Alright. Pushed off the major level and my levels are back in order. So let's see if this is enough to push past the VWAP and us go to retest the overnight low again, which is that green line up there at 7:30. 7:30.75. I really need to use the bathroom. There's only one anyway. Really want to go use the bathroom, but the volatility is still kind of there a little bit. I just haven't gotten the patterns that I'm looking for. I don't want to miss a trade. This is gonna be right when I leave. Things look exactly how I want it to. Alright, shit. I just want to use the bathroom. If we touch this VWAP level, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Alright. Alright. What do we got here? I don't use limit orders. I do use limit orders. I only use limit orders. I do not use market orders at all because with the way that I'm scalping, I need to be extremely precise on my entries and exit. Well, yeah, the entries and the exits, honestly. So I use a closed bar chart trader from Affordable Indicators because all of my entries will always be at the close of a bar. So, this is kind of what it looks like. I just added the buy and sell click because sometimes, because I'm still waiting for the volume to confirm my entry, sometimes it's like such a close call that I don't want to get in, and then it's invalid, and then I can't get out because it reverses too fast. So I added the buy click and sell click so that if I don't use the close bar entry, then I can just click buy click on the chart where I want to enter, and then, you know, my ATM and stuff takes care of it. But essentially, like, if I'm looking for a buy on the close of a buy reversal bar, like as it's selling off, I'll just click the buy close button, and it makes the outline of my chart green to remind me that it's on, and then it'll automatically enter the trade for me. So it'll put my entry one tick beyond the close of the reversal bar, and then if it goes too many ticks in my direction, 16 ticks in the direction of my trade before it actually triggers my entry, it'll automatically cancel the order. And I do that because with my regular ATM, that's pretty much what I do. Like, when it's 16 ticks in profit, it moves the stop loss to break even. So yeah. And no, I cannot take that trade actually. Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm doing. And I could take it. Would I have gotten filled? Yeah. I gotta look at that. Oh, yeah. See, this is another entry where I was saying I need to like start writing these down. The zigzag was attached to the previous bar again, so I didn't get into the trade. But that's like twice today, 2 or 3 times where it won. So yeah. And we got a VWAP touch there, so no divergence going back towards it. We'll just wait for the next buy pullback. I need to see. I know I looked at this yesterday. I just gotta find it. I was looking for the entry on the reversal there, but we created an outside bar instead. Yeah, I think the zigzag on the previous bar, I don't think I need to care anymore. I think that it mattered more on trades that are not valid anymore because I've redefined the rules. Interesting. That's good to know. And I think it's mainly because, yeah. So basically what ends up happening when this zigzag stays attached to the previous bar and not the current bar, it's because this previous bar has 0 volume in it. Again, it's one tick in each direction, so it makes sense. So it doesn't really throw off the volume for, because you guys know I not only look at the volume of the reversal bars, the current, the previous, and the previous one before, but I also look at the volume of the swings. So it being attached to this previous bar doesn't change the volume of the full swing because there's no volume in that bar to begin with. So now it's making sense why it doesn't really matter. I just didn't have the correct rules before. And that's what was screwing me up on the trades that I lost like that. So that's good to know because that's, I think, 2 or 3 trades that set up like that today that were valid and I sat out of. And if it's 2 trades, like that's an extra 170 bucks. If it's 3, that's an extra almost 270 per account. We need that. So I'll be taking the trades from here on out. I don't even need to wait a week because at this point it's common sense. I just didn't pay attention to the fact that there's no volume in the previous bar, which would be why it happens that way. If we stall here long enough, which we did not, I was looking at that buy, but we didn't stall there long enough, and you can see I would have lost. I just needed a little bit more volume in that bar right there. Just a little. We're getting better every day. Yes, ma'am. That is the goal. That's what I was saying in the beginning, y'all. Y'all gonna see some red. Don't let it bother you because it don't bother me. But trust you me, I am going to get where I'm trying to get to. And I just had confidence in my abilities because, number one, I've been looking at charts for so many years. That's why I told y'all yesterday, like when I was developing the strategy, I've been trading for so long. I knew exactly what indicators I wanted to use, how I wanted to use them. Like, I just knew it was going to take time. So yeah, now the goal is to just get these last little flicky bits out the way. Good morning, Jay Powell. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. This is random. Do I like biscuits? Applejacks. Are you about to go eat some biscuits, girl? I don't dislike biscuits. It depends on where they're from. Now, if you mean like biscuits and gravy or something, no ma'am. I'm not really much of a soul food type of person. But if you mean like some Popeyes biscuits, girl, just give me some honey, drizzle it on, I'm good. But I definitely need honey with my biscuits. I can't eat them with jelly sometimes though, but yeah, I don't really eat a whole lot of bread. When I do, it's usually keto bread. I just don't like the way bread makes me feel. But I could tear up some Popeyes biscuits though, I ain't gonna lie. Or Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits. That's good too. Special biscuits like that, yeah. You want to? How you gonna eat biscuits at work? Ain't they gonna make you sleepy? Bread makes me sleepy. That's why I prefer keto bread, because keto bread does not make me sleepy. Do I like grits? Okay, listen. I'm probably going to lose my black card, and it's okay. I've lost it plenty of times, especially when you start asking me about black movies and stuff. But grits are not really my favorites. But in my defense, I grew up eating cream of wheat, which of course is sweeter than grits. Even if you don't put a whole lot of sugar and stuff in there, like the grains are just a little sweeter. I prefer cream of wheat over grits. Sorry. Sorry. All right, we broke out of the consolidation zone. Again, this is something that I've just been looking at, because that could be a quick put the entry here, boom, you in and out. Because I would still go for the same 18 ticks. Let's see, which it would have just hit right there. And now that I have this quick little buy click, sell click, that's real easy for me to just put the order there. Losing my black card. And wait, Applejacks, don't go anywhere. Wait, what city am I in? I'm in St. Louis. So at least I'm not from the South and don't like grits. I'm from the Midwest, so we do cream of wheat here. I probably didn't have grits for the first time until I was like in my early 20s, and I was like, what is this? What is this? And actually, I'm pretty sure the first time I had it, I was in New Orleans. So yeah, I was in my like mid 20s then. I was in New Orleans and I went to this real nice breakfast spot, and with my order, I had shrimp and grits, I'm pretty sure. And the shrimp part of it was amazing, but the grits part of it, I was like, why does this go together? I don't understand. Yeah. But like I said, no worries. I lose my black card all the time. All the time. Matter of fact, I just lost my black card. What was it? Earlier this week, I was in an Xbox party. I think we were playing 2K at the time. And they started like talking about something that happened in Menace to Society. And I was like, sorry guys, I can't join the conversation. I never seen it. Never. Now I seen the one with the Wayans brothers, the Menace to Society, South Central, whatever that long name is. But the regular one, no. Unfortunately, I have not. What is the price of this level? All right, so this is the first touch, which means I cannot take it. Let's see, 250. Wait, no. Close at 27. All right, and that would be a rotation. We are rejecting or attempting to reject off of my major level again. It's at 723.50. It's dynamic. It moves. Have I still not traded since 9:42? Oh my geez Louise. This market hates me after 10. All right. All right, we just pushed down too far. I didn't want to touch that level down there. Okay, and I was thinking, right. So we broke through the zone. This zone is old. And we are back at the middle pivot level. We need Jesus. Hold on. Hold on. Bond, which indicator are you speaking of? And I can tell you exactly which one it is. You're looking for a 1 hour reversal? Are you a swing trader? Intraday swing? I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do miss intraday swinging because I just feel like, man, I didn't have to pay attention as much. But then other times I'm like, no, it's not for me anymore. That would be the first touch, and we're not going to do that. But yeah, Bond, which indicator are you talking about? You're a day trader. Well, I know you're a day trader. But do you intraday swing? Or are you in trades for a couple hours, for a couple minutes? All right, did that reject 275? Yeah, so it literally just touched the bottom of the change zone. So for those of you guys who are new, if you ever see a zone like this, I am basically drawing a zone that would change my overall trend bias. So because we cleared both of the levels, my trend bias just changed to a downtrend. And like I said earlier, the only reason why it matters for me what the bias is, like I still will take buys when my trend bias is a downtrend. I don't care, because I scalp, it doesn't really matter, but it just changes the volume requirements of my setup basically. So that's why it matters for me. Just reversal at 742, waiting for pullback to enter. All right, we got 30 minutes left. We're kind of in the in between my minor and major level, so I really just wanted to kind of pull all the way back to the major level at 716 before I really look at anything. Oh, so you must be, wait, I don't know what the, let's go to an hour chart. Are you looking for the pullback to get into the sell? Who the hell is here now? What is going on? We're just kind of like stuck here at the top of the zone. Okay, now we're not stuck anymore. We need to break below 695 for me to start looking at sales again. At least right now, since we're kind of trading at the middle pivot level, which I'm avoiding. Bond, where did you go? Which indicator were you looking at? You ruined yourself almost, and then may have up it back. London treats me better than this most of the time. What happened? You did say that you didn't like the market today, though. But you may have of it back. That's what matters most. What time are you ending? Do you usually end at 11 o'clock when I do? I feel like you typically end a little bit earlier than I do Applejacks. But you in that London session, honey. Ugh. I just can't even think about being up. And usually it's because I'm going to sleep at that time. Like, I legit don't really go to sleep till like, I'll lay down at 2, but I'm probably not sleeping till like 2:30, 3:30 at the latest. So I guess I could trade London if my strategy was to work at that time, because that's normally my sleep time anyway. But I feel like if I was on the charts at that time, it would be even harder for me to fall asleep, because it's like just the, I don't even say the rush, because I don't get adrenaline when I'm trading, but more like the being able to mellow out just from my brain just overworking during that time. Even though I do kind of like get off the game around that time too, so I don't know. But then other times I'll get off the game super early. It's just I'm still up. And it doesn't matter how much sleep I get. That's typically the time that I just can't fall asleep until then. All right, let's see if we break 695.25 down here, which is what I would like to see. Yeah, definitely needed to break there. See close. So you just don't want to do what I want you to do? Is that what it is? Green is good. Absolutely methodical. Hopefully we can end that way. I was going to say that about 10 minutes ago, but we're going to cross our fingers and knock on wood. We don't know what the market's going to give us in the next 20 minutes. And as much as I would like to secure the green and not take any more trades, y'all know I can't do that. If it sets up, we go for it. 5:10:45, 11 your time. Okay, I got you. Honestly, to me, that's really the best time to trade for real. Like, ending at 10 o'clock is good for me. But like I told y'all, I just have so many setups sometimes after 10 o'clock, especially when the market is moving and grooving. I can't pass it up. It's like I'm only trading 12 and a half hours a week. Yeah, I could make it 7.5 and get rid of that extra hour every day, but sometimes that extra hour just gives me exactly what I need to get. So for now, we'll continue till 11. It's no big deal. But yeah, trade London, take a quick nap, and then get ready for work. What a wonderful. You're wit. Not what a wonderful life. I can say, like, as much as this would have been a little bit easier of a journey financially if I was still working, which, like I told y'all, I was kind of forced into this, but then at some point it was like, all right, well, we might as well just concentrate on it. That's what you save money for. Let's just go for it, kind of thing. I am happy that I saved so much money while I was becoming debt free and after becoming debt free that I was able to kind of like step away so that I could just completely focus, because I've always worked overnight. And I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, the good thing was, since I was PRN and I was able to make my own schedule, I usually only work 2 days a week and I would space them out. So I would do like a Sunday and a Wednesday, or a Sunday and a Thursday, something like that. I typically like to work on Sundays just because I didn't want 2 nights in the week where I was working and like messing up my sleep schedule and stuff like that to trade. Are we gonna push up there? We are. Damn it. But anyway, it was kind of hard sometimes because I'm working a 12 and a half, really, by the time you count how long I'm actually there, because I have to give report and I have to do this and the time that it takes to drive and stuff like that. Like, basically a 15-hour day and then staying up because I would get home at about, depending on which job, usually about 8:15 in the morning. So, you know, I would come home, get on the charts, trade until like 11 pretty much, then go shower, and then I would come back to the charts from 12 to 2. It was a lot. That's why I knew like the split session was not going to work. Whether I worked or not, it just was not going to work. So I am happy that I don't have to push through, because I'm not going to lie, like it wasn't like I was making mistakes just because I was sleepy or anything like that. But it is hard to concentrate working a 13-hour shift overnight and then coming home and trying to trade. And then like there were some times where I would have to schedule my shifts back to back. So here it is, I'm up literally till like 12. Then I go to bed for like 4 hours, maybe 5 max, and have to get up and do it the next day. I just knew that was not going to work long term. It just wasn't. All right, here's another trade that I only didn't take because that pivot level's there. And this is why I'm going to start writing down the trades that happen at the pivot level, because that would have been a great trade. Everything set up the exact way I wanted it to, but the pivot level was there. So definitely something that I'm going to be looking at, because that was perfect. 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 Zigzag changed. I was hoping that we would reject at 698, but we still have the opportunity to, but the zigzag changed color, so it's a no. But yeah, definitely I'm gonna record trades at the pivot level for the next week. Like I'm not gonna start trading that right away. But it's so annoying. I mean, that was just a classic sell-off. I was thinking about that today. What's my other channel? It's my first and last name, KeAmber Vaughn. V as in Victor, AUGHN. I am coming up next month. I'll be celebrating. Oh, is it 7 years debt free? I feel like I want to say 6, but I think it's actually 7. I think. Let me go look. Because I celebrated my 5-year when me and my mom and sister went to Vegas 1 year. But I feel like that was like 2 years ago. Now I gotta go look at my Facebook to see, because I don't remember. Bro, I don't even. Alright, this is what we'll do instead. Search on my own channel, on my own page, anniversary. So I was 2 years debt free in 2020. We're 4 years later, so it is 6 years. Why do I feel like I celebrated maybe it was 4 years, my 4-year anniversary in Vegas. But yeah, so 6 years debt free on May 29th. And it was the best decision I ever made. I think I remember my highest debt was over $40,000. Pretty sure. The one part I do remember is that my debt bills accounted for $800 a month. Yeah. And that was not cute. I had tax debt. Yeah, I had tax debt. I had a car note, student loans, credit cards. And I'm not going to lie, like, financially speaking, life is just so much easier when you don't owe a whole bunch of people a whole bunch of money every month. For real. So, people have asked me, like, how have you survived without a job for the last 2 years? Again, I was forced into it, but then it was like, screw it. So first I was just concentrating on my business, but I never took money from my business. I never have in all the years that I've been an entrepreneur. I've always like let the money continue to cycle because I typically had like another source of income, whether it was nursing, whatever. But once nursing went away, it was like, all right, well, let's just use this as a, hey, one day in the near future, I want to have kids. I want, to have a family, stuff like that. So I know that if I do that, I won't ever get a time where I could just say, hey, I don't want to work, or hey, I don't want to deal with anything. I just wanted to take a break from life. And then in September, I said, all right, well, now it's time to like fully focus on trading once I shut the business down. And that's where I'm at. It's so much easier to survive when your bills are very minimal. And it does help that I have a great relationship with my mom, and my mom is old school and she wants me to live at home, which I fought my entire life until I said, you know what, girl, you're right, I'm coming home. So, I mean, I still have bills. I still give her money every month. I still got car insurance and cell phone bills and stuff like that, but it's still minimal. Still minimal. We are refusing to get away from this. What is this? Yeah. Thank you, Applejacks. Thank you. My mama nice. My dad wasn't having it. Neither was I. So my parents are no longer, but they were married for 30 years. And I don't even have a relationship with my dad anymore for my own sake. But my dad was the same way. Like, you and your sister need to live at home until you marry out of the house. They're very traditional, very old school. You're wasting money on rent. This is why we can't move forward as a collective, because we kick our kids out at 18 or 21, whatever. Like, you guys need to marry out of the house, because they both married out of the house. So they're very, very, very traditional. And to be honest with you, like, before they were no longer, I mean, I would still pay, like, I had my own car insurance, and like there were certain bills that I just had to myself, but me and my sister didn't have to throw them money. Like, save your money, because when you do have kids, when you do marry out of the house, things like that, like, we don't want you to have less money than you should have, because we're grown, we can pay our own bills, we don't need you to do that kind of thing. Now my sister moved out like 2 years ago, but yeah, both of my parents were on something. I was like, well, what if I don't get married till I'm 40? It doesn't matter. And like I said, I lived on my own a lot. Like, after I graduated high school at 16, I lived on my own a lot. And most of the time I lived like far away from home. I never struggled. Like, even not having to pay bills, like growing up, I still understood the concept of money. Like, we were still taught about credit and budgeting and things like that. So it wasn't like a shell shock when I had to start paying bills or anything like that. So that was kind of helpful. But yeah, like, eventually I was just like, man, they're right. I am wasting money on rent, because I'm at home all the time, just like I would be at their house. And I'm still pretty much like I have this townhouse, but I'm spending the majority of my time in this one room or these 2 rooms because I'm just such a hermit. Like once I'm settled somewhere, that's it kind of thing. I kind of want to take this sell, but it's a 1 bar pullback. It doesn't look exactly how I want it to yet, but we are rotating over this sell rotation level now, so I would rather just not chance it yet. Now if it wins, I'm gonna be pissed, and it looks like it will. All right, so I can take it that way. The crazy thing is I have it written on my cheat sheet, like if the volume doesn't look how I want it to, even with a 1 bar pullback and it rotates over the rotation levels, I can take it. But I just wasn't all the way sure since it hasn't set up that way in a long time, but now I know. But yeah, so I'm just happy that I have the type of relationship with my mom where it works. Because if I'm being honest, all of the times that I moved away, it was to get away from my dad, if I'm being real. And yeah, so that's that. So now my grandma lives here too, and we just have us a good old time. We do. All right, I'm looking for the sale here. If it reverses here, we might just push up and decide not to. But yeah, I actually, that 1 bar pullback, I definitely would have gotten filled onto, which whatevs. All right, we pushed up too far. Too much of a rejection. Couldn't really have the career I wanted at home anyway. I feel that. I think it would be a lot different, like if I like to party and come in all hours of the night and stuff. I think it would be a little bit different, but I don't. And the most I do is game, you know, and that's pretty much it. And most of the time, like I'll have fans and stuff going so that if I don't really yell and scream at nighttime when I'm playing the game anyway, but you know, I'll kind of like drown out the sound if I am talking, just to make sure I'm not keeping them up while they're sleeping or anything. But yeah, it works out. I have a great relationship with my grandma, so we're just like the little golden girls. We're the little golden girls, so it works out. All right, no buy here. Even though we're pushing off the rotation level here and things look great, the problem is the volume of this swing and that swing are equal, so I don't take trades that way. And we got like 8 minutes left. We'll see if we get another trade. More specifically, like if we push down, come up, and we rotate over this rotation level, I'm going to take the trade. Whether it's now if it's a 1 bar pullback, I might not. I might not, even though that one just won. It'll be one of those, hey, this one won and then the next one lost, and then I'll be pissed. But if we just have a regular setup that rotates here, I'll definitely take the sale. Definitely. But speaking of careers, Applejacks. When they were like, you know, parting ways, and he was still here, I was still working as a nurse, so I would get off work, you know, super early in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. And like me and my dad never really had the greatest relationship, although he's delusional enough to think that we did. I never thought so, and I always spoke up about it. But at one point, like, you know, I gave up my living space to make sure my mom was comfortable. And so of course all my clothes and stuff are in here. So he would be like so evil to where like my mom would go to work super early in the morning, and like at one point, because I was having nightmares so bad, like I have a couple of videos about this on my other YouTube channel, you can check it out. But I used to have nightmares that he was trying to unalive me in my sleep. because of how evil he was being, and he just was like this huge ball of negative energy. And it's crazy because I used to have nightmares so bad, like from childhood up until he finally left the house. Like all kind of nightmares you would think I was crazy if I told you about some of them. And literally, I have never had a dream like that ever since he left. That says a lot. But anyway, so, you know, eventually, because I was having all these nightmares, I would sleep with my mom at night because the nightmares were so bad. I had to sleep with a knife under my pillow. And so because she would be gone early in the morning, he would like come through the room like with his phone super loud watching ESPN, like just being ignorant and evil. So it was like a couple of days where I was like, all right, let's see how long this goes on for. So eventually I just got sick of it, and I was like, you know what? I can play a better game because you forgot that you live in my living space. Like what I would do, I would be real nice. If I'm going to work overnight, I would take my clothes out that I needed to, you know, put on after I shower and stuff. I would take that out the night before so that I'm not coming into my living space where my things are, where he's sleeping, you know, to wake him up at 7 o'clock in the morning. But baby, after he started doing that, I said, oh, I can show you better. I can show you better. So sometimes I would get off early just so that I can be home right at 6:30, right at 6:45, banging on the door, boom, boom, boom. I need my clothes. Like, I'm one of those people. If you go low, I go to hell. So now you up super early in the morning mad because you didn't have to be an evil bitch. Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, Applejacks, I got stories, okay? And I actually like, I made videos like when a lot of this stuff was going on. And there's like a lot of different parts of the story that I never would tell because for me, that's like my mom's story to tell, you know? But I will always talk about my experience during the time. And it just was not, it just wasn't it, you know? And it's so crazy because I would say about, let me see, it wasn't my 30th because the year of my 30th, he like ruined my 30th birthday, my milestone birthday. Yes, he did. So I think it was probably my 31st birthday, like that. So that following year, or maybe the year after, he has been like texting me and my sister every freaking holiday. I mean, even holidays we don't even celebrate. And it's like, bro, it's no way you have done all the things that you've done and think for 1 minute that you're going to have a relationship with me. Now, my sister, maybe one day she'll fold. I don't think that she will, because she had a great relationship with him, but I always felt like it was because my sister's very naive. She's kind of easily manipulated when it comes to him. But once Big Sis had to point out certain things like, yo, he was attached to you more because you are gullible. So she doesn't really fool with him either. In 2 years of texting every holiday, he's only gotten one response. That was from me. I can't remember which one it was. It was probably Valentine's Day. I don't remember. But girl, if I told you what I messaged that man, you would be like, you said that to your daddy? And he proved that like the whole some attention, like negative attention is better than no attention, because I've given him no attention this entire time and he kept texting. And then I gave him the attention that he wanted, but I wouldn't say I was evil. I said what was on my mind and I meant it. And I just knew he was not going to respond. And girl, he did. I was like, what? You're a psycho. But that will never be a thing for me. I'm just one of those people where I just feel like it doesn't matter what title you hold in my life. If you are a trash person, you're a trash person and you just won't be in my life. Like, I don't care, cousin, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, whatever. Like, yo, if you were a random person on the street and you did to me what you did to me, or you have this specific personality, I wouldn't be cool with you. So guess what? I'm just not gonna be cool with you. I don't like you. But yeah, baby, I said something crazy. Look, Applejack, you know me already. I said something crazy. It was funny because I told my mom like months prior, like, the next time he texts me, this is what I'm gonna say. And she was like, all right. I don't know why she didn't believe me. So when I replied the message, I sent the screenshot to my mom. She calls me after she gets off work and she said, wait, you really said, she said, I just read your message. I said, yeah, I sent it. And she said, you really said it? I said, yeah, who did you think your daughter was? And when he responded, I said, girl, he actually responded. What's wrong with this man? But hey, it is what it is. I've sunned him in person in front of people. Like, I don't care. But yeah, all right. Enough about my life talk. I'm telling you, this is what some of my streams are going to be. We need therapy. All right, so this is where the accounts are. I'm happy that this is the second day that I have ended green. Definitely gonna go through and look at those two things from the two trades that I lost, because I'm pretty sure one I'm gonna define even more and that'll be mitigated. The second one, I'm not sure I have enough data, but the loss makes sense, so it makes sense to just not do it, but we'll see. And then I also am going to write down from now on all of my regular pullbacks that are going back towards a VWAP. And also I'm going to write down all the trades that are happening at my middle pivot level as well, because we might be able to avoid sitting out, especially when price is kind of like teetering at that level. If things are setting up properly and it doesn't matter that it's at that level, we just gonna take it, okay? And we'll go from there. But the good thing is we are still recovering from the big loss. I mean, I guess it wasn't that big of a loss from Monday. So I do still have probably like about 170. Let's see. Well, that account's different. So I have to go back off. I have to go off of this one. So yeah, about $160 or so to get back to break even on this account. This account took an extra loss because there was a trade, I think it was yesterday, that I did not copy over because I knew I was chancing it since I had a setup that I didn't have defined rules for. But we're almost back to kind of being break even for the week. So hopefully tomorrow we get quite good like volatility and volume. I do know that since tomorrow is Friday, I'm not going to trade the counter trend divergences. We went ahead and just made that a thing because after losing those trades on Friday, we're just not going to do it. It was already a rule. I took it back. Now we're just going to put that in place, and that's going to be that. So mainly tomorrow will just be regular pullbacks or like regular divergence that's still going with my overall trend bias, and that'll be that. So thank you, Applejacks. Enjoy your day. I thank you guys for tuning in. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.